John. Merry Christmas to you. 866-979-ESPN, 206-421-ESPN. Let's go to Queen Anne and talk to Dan. Hey, Dan. Oh, let's go to Commando. Merry Christmas, Commando.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and Mrs. Clayton, John Clayton. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. And, of course, you got to be doing well today because Huskies have a big game against Boise State.
Yeah, big game. And I really didn't like what Condota had to say about it, but I still love you, Bob. Hey, well, the world didn't end yesterday, but some playoff hopes are definitely ending tomorrow. And while I'm talking about apocalyptic disasters, John Clayton, let me give a shout out to Jet, attorney at law. Now, I realize I have absolutely no authority to say what I'm about to say, but on behalf of the John Clayton Show, from the staff to the listeners to the callers to the Clayton cronies, of which we count you a member, after the MESS mess we saw on Monday night, until next season, you are banned from talking about the Jets unless it's the 787 Dreamliner. You know what I'm saying, John Clayton. Now, John Clayton, if I've told you once, I've told you enough times for the 12 days of Christmas. In the words of the treasurer of the Sierra Madre Banditos, credentials, you don't need no stinking credentials. You're John Clayton, damn it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Now, any chance you remember where you were December 23rd, 1972, John Clayton?
What's that again?
Any chance you remember where you were on December 23rd, 1972?
In Three River Stadium.
Well...
And the next week I watched Thunder run down the middle of the field with a bunch of Steelers blocking for him.
Well, I watched The Football Life about the Immaculate Reception, and you were noticeably absent, Professor, so were you really there?
I was right there, yeah.
I know, just being silly, John Clayton. Hey, man.
The great part is I turned to Joe Brown from the league office and I said, hey, that's an illegal play. Is there a replay on this?
Yeah, talk about what you remember about that game, where you were at the end, and what you did see.
Well, I was in the auxiliary press box.
Mm-hmm.
Franco Harris is running directly toward the auxiliary press box. You know, we were in the end zone, which is basically the baseball press box in Three River Stadium. I was in row 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind me was Joe Brown from the league office, and I saw the play, and my first reaction was that's an illegal play because it bounced off a Frenchie Fuqua.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that Jack Tatum came in, crunched Fuqua, flies back, Franco picks it up, and then takes it in. And, you know, the joke around the stadium that time was Fred Swearinger, the referee, went over, made a phone call upstairs, and basically said, how many fans are here from 60,000 touchdowns? That was always the joke.
Right. Well, you know, after watching the show the other night, I'm completely convinced the ball touched the turf because the wax figures of Franco Harris at the airport and that museum have him looking up instead of looking down making the catch, and you can't make a shoestring catch unless you're looking at your shoestrings. And you know, that play, if that play happened today, Jack Tatum would be flagged for a hard hit.
About that, yeah, defenseless receiver.
And you know, the most disappointing thing about the 40th anniversary of that game is that the NFL didn't have the foresight to schedule the Raiders and Steelers for tomorrow instead of week 3, since it's the exact same date, for crying out loud.
But I tell you what, it was great to see that because it was interesting to see all the different shots that they had, trying to resurrect things and the opinions. But you know, that's the thing too. It's like, and you saw it with the Hail Mary with the Green Bay Seattle. Sometimes you can, you know, a play like that can catapult a team and define it. The tuck rule, which, hey, it's a fumble. The tuck rule is a fumble. Help the New England Patriots get over this.
No, you're right about that. And lastly, John Clayton, to the 12th man, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Forget about Santa Claus. The 49ers are coming to town, so show them the same respect Charlie Brown gets this time of year. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, go Huskies and Seahawks. Time to hawk and roll. Safe travels, John Clayton.